Hello, Stampers, Deb Valder here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you how to do a gatefold card using the envelope punch board. This one is just a little bit, it has a little bit more to it than just our regular file folder cards, so I wanted to just show you how to do this. We started off with a piece of cardstock that is 8.5 by 5.5, and when you open it up, there's a gate to it. You see it opens up from both sides. So let me just show you how I did that. Like I said, I took an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock, and there's no score marks on it at all. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our envelope punch board and we're going to make a few punches in here. So what we have to do is we have to get these on the short side, these little tabs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I call the cave opening. So this right here is what I call the cave opening, and when I tell you to line up something on the end of the cave opening, it's this little piece right here on the left hand side. It's where this pointer comes in and it goes all the way back, and where that plastic ends, that's my cave opening on the left hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my envelope punch board and I'm going to take my cardstock and I'm going to just put that where the cave opening is, and I'm going to punch it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it into the 3-inch mark, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to take it and I'm going to punch. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to flip it over that way. So what I have is we're gonna do it so they're on opposite ends. So here we have that fancy edge on the side. We're going to do it on this side now. So that, like I said, they're on opposite ends. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to do my cave opening punch, and then I'm going to go over to the 3-inch mark and I'm going to punch there. So now we're done with the envelope punch board for just a little while. The next thing that we need to do is to grab our trimmer, and we need to trim off our rough edges. So we're going to trim off this part, keeping our fancy little edge right there. Before I do that, though, I think I'll take and I'll score at the 2 3/4 inch mark, or 2 1/4 inch mark on each side. So I'm going to bring this over right here at the 2 1/4 inch mark, and I'm going to score it. Now be very mindful of what's scoring and what's your cutting blade. So this is my scoring blade, and I'm just going to score right here at 2 1/4, and I'm going to flip it and I'm going to score at 2 1/4. It's just easier when you have both of these edges on here to do your scoring. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to cut. So I'm going to take, and in this little gully I'm going to line up this little divot right here. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to take and I'm going to put my my cutter in there, and I always try to take and push this over as far as it goes, and then I know I'm all the way over at the edge. So when I take that off, what I did was I just eliminated this little piece right here. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to take and I'm going to line up the nodule, or the little nodule, the little divot. I'm going to push it in as far as I can go, and then I'm just going to cut that part off. So now I have the fancy edge on this side and the fancy edge on this side. But again, the only scores that we have are this one and this one at 2 1/4. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and I'm going to fold these edges in. Okay, and they should fit just nicely. What I like to do is I like to just take and lock them into each other, just like that. Alrighty. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to round these corners right here. So I'm going to take my envelope punch board again, and we have a corner rounder on the punch board, and that's on the opposite side. So I'm just going to take and I'm going to line that up and punch. And do the same thing on this side, and just punch that out. So now we're going to add our decorative pieces both on both sides, and we're going to do that by taking a piece of 2 by 5.5, actually 2 pieces of 2 by 5.5 inch, 5 1/4 inch, and we're going to take and we're going to envelope punch board these also. So I'm going to take my envelope punch board and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to put it at my cave opening so that I get that little side. And then here, instead of going to 3, I'm going to go to 2 3/4. All right. Now sometimes it's hard to find that little line and to line it up with this. So what I'll do is I'll end up taking a piece of cardstock and putting it at the mark where I want it to be, and I want this one to be 2 3/4. So then I know it's going to go over and it's going to line up with that one perfectly. And then we're going to do that same thing to the other piece. And let's see, I'm just lining them up. Cave punch, and then we're going to go over to the 2 3/4 inch punch and do it there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cut these two pieces, just like we did our other piece. We're just going to cut these. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to cut off the squared end. So I load that up there, I push it all the way to the right, and then just cut that off. There's one piece. And then this one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take that and we're going to cut it off. And when we go to put them on, one is going to go here and one is going to go here. And that's how those go. Now let me just show you what I did to decorate this one. Okay, it's that simple. All right, so now let me just show you what I did with the decorations. This right here, what I did was I just put a piece of cardstock in the center. And then what I did on the outside was I punched just a black piece of cardstock with our pansy punch. And then I took our petite petals and I stamped that and then punched it out with our petite petals punch, which is this one right here. And then let me show you just a cute little trick that I do. Okay, here's our inside piece. But what I do with our little pansy punches is I take our foam mat. It's just our Stampin' Up! Foam mat, and what I do is I take, I like this, you can use the stylus, but I like this because it's a little bit fatter and it works a little bit better. But what I do is I just take on our foam pad, I just take and I press it down, and it folds the flower in to give it a 3D look, and it just comes out really, really nice. And you can do that with this one also. But then what I did was I just layered all of the pieces together, and then just put them on my card, just like this. Okay, I hope you enjoyed my post. And I did a little banner too. That's from the Penance banner bundle, and I just cut that out and added that onto it too. Added a little bit of ribbon on the outside, and that was my card. This is a gatefold card using the envelope punch board. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just get a hold of me, and take care. Hop on over to my blog for some more information. Take care and have a great day.